All right, guys, how's it going? Welcome back to CupTalk.tv. All right, so I thought I'd finish for the day. However, I have had to open up my office to come and talk to you about this consortium that is interested in buying a minority stake in Liverpool Football Club. Now, two things before we get into the video. One, the lighting isn't great now because it's quite, well, I wouldn't say it's dark, but it's not as bright as it was earlier. So we've got the lights on, which is a little bit weird. And the aircon's been off for a few hours because obviously I'd locked up and gone. So it is absolutely boiling in here. I'm in Spain, all right? So it's very, very hot. So anyway, I'm not going to put the aircon on. We'll leave it because hopefully I can get out of here pretty quick. So on last night's stream, those of you that were with me for the entirety, I said to you, something seems a little bit off, you know, a bit weird. About the changes in terms of, or lack of changes with regards the executives at the club. Like when Arne Slot left, I would have thought that that's when they would have announced Michael Edwards leaving. And Richard Hughes, we expect him to be on his way, but he's still dealing with transfer dealings now. And it's kind of like things are being put on pause a little bit. And it didn't quite add up to me. And I said to you guys last night, you know, something don't seem right. You know, maybe there is something to do with FSG and investment. You know, people might think, oh, yeah, they're preparing to sell or whatever. I actually mentioned Dynasty Equity on the stream last night, and we looked into, you know, I remember saying I can't remember when the Dynasty Equity minority investment took place. And so basically we were just sniffing around that kind of, it's just in my head last night, you know, because of the way things are. And then this comes out today, which is rather interesting, I think. This chap here, which we're going to talk about, this is the actual article I have here in front of me on my tablet. And I've also submitted this to Dave, my AI assistant. Right now, my AI assistant isn't just throwing it at ChatGPT or Gemini or any AI. It's an AI that I've trained probably for about 18 months now to monitor football news articles, digest them, analyze them, if you like. My regular viewers know all about it, and it's a very good little system that we have here. So I'm going to tell you what Dave thinks as well. So let's have a quick look at the article. This is by the BBC. And it basically says that a consortium led by British Indian millionaire businessman Amit Bhatia has expressed an interest in buying a minority stake in Liverpool. Now, over the years, I'm not an expert when it comes to investment and finances. I can't manage my own finances, right? But people always tell me that minority investments, you know, in businesses are not really the best thing, you know, like for the people investing, because you don't get a lot of power, a lot of saying things. Maybe if you're a state, you know, a nation, and you invest in a Premier League club, maybe that can open up doors in terms of tourism and promoting things and whatnot. But you haven't really got much clout, you know, and so maybe you would invest, if you're a minority, if you think about this, right, if you're going to invest in a business and you didn't really have much say in the running of the business, what's the point of investing in the business, right? So unless it can benefit you by brand association or tourism or something like that, maybe so I'm getting messages flash up on my screen all about this. Sorry about that, I'm thrown off. So unless you're doing that, the only other thing I can think of is minority investment. I know I'm going to get some money because there's going to be a sale down the line, and that's where I'm going to profit, right? Or going with a minority investment and gradually increase maybe at some point, right? I'm still getting messages flash up on my screen. So Dynasty Equity, I was told that they invested in Liverpool Football. This is from experts. This isn't from Twitter twats or anything. This is from financial experts. They said that Dynasty Equity, when they got their minority investment in the bigger group, if you like, would be for like a short-term sort of thing. Like they would invest and expect to get some money back at some time, you know, for the people that are involved with that. If you look up Dynasty Equity online, I'll do that right now for you. There's so many messages flashing up on my screen. Dynasty equity, right? Google this. And you'll find something very interesting on here. If you click on our team, and you'll see the first, where is he? 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 1 down. David Ginsberg, senior advisor, it says, at Dynasty Equity. So these are the people that did the minority thing with FSG, right? Senior advisor, David Ginsberg. So he's a senior advisor to Dynasty Equity, right? And it says that he's the vice chairman of Fenway Sports Group, the holding company that owns the Boston Red Sox, New England Sports Network, the Liverpool Football Club, blah, 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 and serves as vice chairman of the Boston Red Sox and vice chairman of the Liverpool Football Club, right? And he's an advisor to Dynasty Equity. And he's also FSG, therefore he knows what FSG's intentions are, and he advises Dynasty Equity to buy in, right? So therefore they have some knowledge of what their intentions are, right? So, similar kind of thing, we'll get to that in a minute. Let's go back to my notes. This is all relevant, right? So this is all relevant. I need you to understand about Dynasty Equity. The plan, what people, observers, experts believe that they would have invested in the whole thing with it, not for the long term, but for the short term to make profit. And the only way they could do that is from a sale by FSG. So this chap, again, is interested in buying a minority stake in Liverpool. He's the son-in-law of the Indian billionaire businessman Lakshmi Mittal, was director and co-owner at QPR for 18 seasons, but stepped down from the board and relinquished ownership of the club on Tuesday afternoon. Right? Now, a statement was issued by FSG, which said an investment consortium led, managed and represented by Amit Bhatia has expressed interest in making a strategic minority investment in Liverpool Football Club. Now, the deal as yet has not been finalised, right? If the investment was to proceed, it would follow a similar deal made in 2023 when FSG sold a minority stake in the Reds to global sports investment firm Dynasty for between £82 million and £164 million, right? Now, according to the Financial Times, a deal with this consortium, led by Bhatia, whatever he's called, would value Liverpool at more than £4.5 billion, $6 billion, right? So it goes on to tell you about who he is, the BBC. Let's see what their version is. They say he's a former investment banker who worked for Morgan Stanley on Wall Street before becoming an entrepreneur. His investments include businesses in construction, real estate and private equity. The 46-year-old Londoner was awarded the Young Entrepreneur of the Year award in 2013 and sits on the advisory board of the Saudi Arabian government's Cultural Affairs and International Relations Unit. He was a director and co-owner of QPR before his unexpected departure on Tuesday. And a stand at Loftus Road bears his surname. Goes on to say who he's married to. Well, I'm not really interested in that. Blah, blah, blah. Now, or maybe we should read that bit out. Yeah, we will. We'll have to. He married Vanisha Mittal Bhatia in 2004 in a 6-day ceremony. 6-day? Fucking, well, 6-day piss up, I suppose. In France, costing more than 41 million. The fucking kids in world can't get a glass of water and have spent £41 million on a fucking wedding. These fucking people. Sorry, guys, I shouldn't be saying things like that, but it's just how I think. Which is recognised, by the Guinness World Records as the most expensive of all time. Vanisha is the daughter of Indian steel magnate Lakshmi Mittal, whose net worth has been estimated at more than £22 billion. Not bad. Now, I've thrown all this and my thoughts at Dave, right, that I was telling you about. And he says, yes, Doug, this is interesting. And the timing makes it look considerably more serious than some wealthy bloke merely asking whether Liverpool might fancy a few quid. So who is he? It goes on to tell us This is Dave's version. London-based investor and former investment banker who founded AB Capital, previously called Swordfish Investments. His company describes itself as a permanent capital investment manager with interests across property, technology, media, sport, and other sectors. In other words, he is accustomed to buying assets and holding them, rather than turning up with a carrier bag of money and disappearing 3 years later, which is what some people might expect with a minority investment, right? So this might be something that is interesting him in the long term. He also has genuine football boardroom experience. He became involved with QPR in 2007, later serving as chairman as well as a director and minority owner. However, he was never QPR's all-powerful sole owner, so it would be unfair to pin every promotion, relegation, and a bit of Loftus Road madness entirely on him. His public approach there generally emphasised sustainability and careful financial management. The important bit is that he is married to Venetia Mittal, daughter of steel billionaire Lakshmi Mittal. Mittal. You know, if it's not Jack Daniels or John Smith, I can't fucking pronounce names. This is therefore not simply about Amit Bhatia's personal wealth. He is leading a consortium reportedly backed by the much wealthier Mittal family. The Financial Times calls it a potential significant minority stake. That is very, very good words, or interesting words to me, right? Because there's a minority stake, right? Like maybe Dynasty or whatever, but they're describing it as a significant minority stake, with Liverpool valued at more than $6 billion. But we should not automatically assume Lakshmi Mittal is personally writing the entire cheque. We do not yet know the identities of every consortium member, and that of course is important, or how the investment would be structured, or precisely where the capital originates. The QPR departure is the biggest clue. Bhatia has transferred his QPR shareholding to majority owner Ruben G, and stepped down from the board after 18 seasons. He's not doing that just to fuck around, is he, guys? Something going on here. I'm telling you, it might be down the line. This is the fucking start of something, in my opinion. Excuse me. That reportedly removes the problem of having interest in two English clubs. That does not prove the Liverpool transaction is completed. It does, however, suggest that this has gone beyond someone sending an exploratory email to John Henry. You do not ordinarily relinquish an 18-year-old football investment on Tuesday morning because you might possibly have a chat about another club on Wednesday afternoon. The fact that advisors have reportedly been appointed strengthens the impression that proper negotiations are taking place. Nevertheless, both FSG and the reporting stress that no agreement has been reached as yet. How does this compare with Dynasty equity? Well, the Dynasty deal in 2023 was a minority common equity investment directly associated with Liverpool. FSG said the proceeds would primarily be used to reduce bank debt connected to the pandemic and spending on Anfield, the AXA Training Centre, Melwood and recent transfers. FSG explicitly presented it as strengthening Liverpool's balance sheet, not surrendering control of the club. Now, just before we go any further, look for Rich T in the comments of this video. I'm sure Rich T will comment on this video. Now, Rich has been on the Cop Talk VIP members website here, probably almost the full 30 years or so, nearly 30 years that I've been with Cop Talk myself. And I've met Rich. He's a very intelligent guy. He's involved with this kind of stuff, investment, and he knows a thing or two. So you've got to keep an eye on him. You know, he's got links to to these royal families out there in, you know, Neverland and all that, you know, that buy into football clubs and stuff. So look for Rich T in the comments of this video, right? Now, when that Dynasty equity deal got through, someone told me, I don't know if it was Rich, it might have been, someone said to me, it wouldn't surprise me if FSG do other minority investment deals because they can claw back so much money, right? You know, like what they initially spent to invest into the club or whatever, to purchase the club, right? I don't know if it was rich, so much, but we have discussed that before on here. I remember us saying, we've got this one minority investment thing, more might follow, right? So anyway, Dynasty is essentially a specialist sports investment firm. It appears to have been a comparatively passive financial partner. Bhatia would potentially be different. He has nearly 2 decades of football boardroom experience. He is representing a family-backed consortium rather than a conventional sport private equity fund. The Financial Times is describing the proposed interest as a, in bold, significant minority stake. He has cleared his existing football ownership position before any Liverpool deal has been announced. That final point is particularly striking. This may be more than another dynasty-sized slice, and this is where my thinking's going. It is. It fucking is. I haven't read any of this yet, by the way. This is the first time I've gone through this analysis. What does it tell us about FSG's long-term plan? Well, my verdict, Dunk, is that the most likely strategy is FSG are selling down, not selling out. They bought Liverpool for £300 million in 2010, a transaction now valuing the club above £4.5 billion, would allow FSG to realise an extraordinary return on part of its investment while keeping operational and voting control. That gives them several benefits simultaneously. They take money off the table. FSG can turn some of its enormous paper profit into actual cash without abandoning Liverpool. It's incredible, really, isn't it, guys? They reduce their financial exposure. They can share the risk and future capital requirements with another wealthy investor. They preserve control. Provided FSG remains comfortably above 50% and retains the relevant voting rights, John Henry and the existing leadership continue making the major decisions, like what I said, a minority investor can't do that. They establish a public valuation. A sophisticated investor buying shares at a value above $6 billion effectively validates that price. That becomes extremely useful should FSG eventually consider selling another portion or the entire club. They potentially introduce a future succession partner. This is the bit that I'm looking forward to reading. Let's see what this says. A sizable minority investor can later increase its holding gradually. Bhatia could begin as a partner rather than a purchaser and become more important over several years. This is where this is going, I think. The last possibility is where I think this becomes more intriguing than Dynasty. Dynasty looked like financial housekeeping. Bhatia could conceivably be both capital and a future ownership option. Does this mean FSG are preparing to sell Liverpool? Not immediately, in my opinion. A second minority transaction actually fits more naturally with FSG remaining in control for the foreseeable future. Adding another shareholder can make a complete sale more complicated because the rights of Dynasty and the new consortium would need to be accommodated. However, it could be the beginning of a gradual exit strategy. FSG might steadily reduce its economic ownership while retaining majority control, then eventually sell the remaining controlling interest at an even higher valuation. So I would divide it like this. Most likely, FSG intend to remain controlling owners while monetizing a portion of Liverpool. Quite possible, Bhatia becomes a long-term strategic partner with a route to acquiring more shares later. Too early to claim, this is the first stage of an imminent full takeover. Anyone declaring tonight that Liverpool are being sold is getting ahead of the evidence. Equally, anyone dismissing it as another meaningless dynasty-style investment may be understating it. The crucial unanswered question: we need to know whether this is one, primary investment, new money going into Liverpool Football Club, or two, a secondary share sale, Bhatia's consortium paying FSG or existing shareholders for some of their shares. That distinction is enormous. If it is primary capital, Liverpool's balance sheet receives the money. It might support infrastructure, debt management, commercial expansion, or football operations. If it is secondary, FSG shareholders receive the proceeds, and Liverpool itself may not receive a penny. It would be owners cashing in part of their investment, not necessarily money for transfers. Therefore, nobody should start photoshopping £300 million transfer budgets just yet. The transfer window lunatics will, naturally. It is part of their sacred duty. That's the Twitter twats. My overall verdict, Dunk. This appears credible and potentially substantial. Bhatia is not a mystery chancer. He is an established investor with long football experience and extremely powerful family connections. For FSG, it looks like intelligent financial engineering. They can cash in on part of Liverpool's spectacular increase in value, introduce another source of long-term capital, and retain control. The line I would use for Cop Talk TV viewers is, this does not presently look like FSG selling Liverpool. It looks like FSG selling part of Liverpool's value while keeping hold of Liverpool itself. But should Bhatia acquire something like 10 to 20%, receive a board seat and obtain rights to purchase further shares, then we will be looking at something much more important, the possible introduction of FSG's eventual successor. And that's where I'm going with this, guys. That's where I'm going with this. This, to me, from the start, I didn't see any of this analysis, right? Before I did the, give it to Dave, got the analysis, came straight here to do the video for you. But to me, it feels very, very different to the dynasty thing. You know, there's been suggestions, like I mentioned before, that they might get, you know, multiple minority investors to claw money back, you know. But I do feel that this is more serious. This is a potential successor to FSG. And I'll try and explain it. The beginning of the video probably wasn't too good because I was getting loads of messages flashing up on the screen. It always puts me off. But what I was trying to say was that as a minority, investor, you don't have any power unless there's some, what benefits are there for you? If you, like I say, if you're a state, a country, and you buy into a Premier League club, you got the tourism angle and all sorts. That can work for you and can help generate revenue or whatever, and interest, and promote your nation, your country or whatever. But dynasty equity, I was told that they're the sort of people that will invest in the club short term and expect to get something back financially, which is possibly, from a sale. And obviously they've got him, the FSG guy that's an advisor to them, which is giving them, a reason to invest because he's an advisor and he's FSG. So he's obviously telling them this is what our plans are, right? So why would you invest into a football club with this guy who's been a significant, football, personality or whatever? There's a reason for this, guys. This won't be. I can't see how this is just a minority investment to have no say in anything in the hope of, taking some coin one day at a possible future sale, in my opinion. And I'm going with what Dave's kind of implying here. Well, he's not implying, he's saying it could be. The closing on the analysis, the possible introduction of FSG's eventual successor. This is what I think is happening here. This is what I think is going to happen with this guy, with the family. It could take years, 10 years, whatever, I don't know. When you look at some of these things, how long FSG have been around, did it say 2010? I can't remember. No, I don't think it was 2010, was it? Was it 2010? Fucking hell. 2010, so 16 years, 3 years ago, dynasty equity. These things take time, right? But I genuinely think this is bigger than just another minority investor. That's my initial thoughts. What do you think? Let me know. All right. I've got a live stream on here, so I don't know. You might be watching this. I might be live now. I only said it last night on last night's stream. I know I did. You know, if you think about it, when Arne Slot left, you'd have thought they'd have said, well, he's going and all, and he's going and he's going. But if they're involved in, you know, like bringing some football people in, which is exactly what we fucking want, right? Or, you know, bringing someone in, it might be a case of, let's just see, how many, they might have some ideas of what they want to... Something hasn't been right with me with the senior management stuff. Edwards, why not announce it when he's gone, right? I'm like, he's fucking off too. I just don't get, I told you this, right? Richard Hughes, Al, he's going, Al. So what's he waiting for? He said something ain't right. And this must be it. It's got to be linked to this. It's got to be. Now, this could take years and years and years to come to, you know, an FSG eventual successor. Who knows? But I think this could be the start of it. What do you think? I can't see these football people, really mega fucking wealthy people, wanting a minority stake in a football club and they've got no fucking say in it. Like, no big say. You know what I mean? I'm telling you. See that cap there? DKB, Dunk knows best. I ain't often fucking wrong, I'm telling you. Right, I'm off. I really need to know your thoughts on this one. I do. At least it's given us something to talk about. Now the World Cup's over, I tell you, it'll all kick off, didn't it? Nice one. This will be interesting. Let's see all journalists come out now. They'll all know what's fucking going on now. They knew fuck all yesterday. But they all know everything today. All Twitter twats will be at it now. Oh, dread to think what bullshit you lot are going to be subjected to. I say you lot because I don't follow any fucking idiots. Right, I'm off. Here comes the grift. If you don't like it, fuck off. Right, so if you enjoyed my video, please thumbs up my video, all right? What else do I say? I really need to hear from you, your comments on this, all right? The members website, the VIP members website behind me, it's like someone's thrown an hand grenade and it's exploded. So I need to go on there as well this evening. So, sorry, drop me a comment, all right? Drop me a comment. There's a super thanks, a love heart with the video. If you enjoy this kind of analysis, it supports my channel. I don't clickbait. I don't make videos for the sake of making videos. I don't pull stupid faces. I've got a stupid face. But I don't pull one and go like, oh, you won't believe this. What? Nothing. Right? We don't do any of that around here. No betting links, no affiliation links, no fuck all. So if you enjoy my channel, you're in a position to support me, you can get a super thanks or become a channel member or something like that. 3 links in the video description if you want to support the channel via different methods, and the Revolut ones may be a kitty for the weekends. There you go. That's how we do things around here, all right? You don't have to do any of that. Don't cost you fuck all to thumbs up the video and drop a comment, all right? So, I'm going to go. All right, I will maybe see you on the live stream. If not, we've got a morning briefing tomorrow. Don't forget, I'm also doing a briefing on my other YouTube channel, Duncan Oldham. At Duncan Oldham is the channel username. So you're getting one on there, one on here as well. All right? I need to hear from you. Are you thinking the same as me here? And the same as Dave, clearly. The possible introduction of FSG's eventual successor. That's where I think we're going. Right, I've got to go. My dinner's ready, I think. It's a pie. That won't surprise you, will it? I know what you're thinking. It's a pie. But how am I going to eat that in 15 minutes when I've got a live stream to do? I don't know. See you in a bit. I should have been up there having my tea, but I came here to talk to you, all right? Hope you appreciate it.